Welcome to Unfiltered
I
with
do my
Roxy.
hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Hello, and welcome back to Unfiltered with Roxy. Hi, I'm Roxana Feenster. And if you're new here, this is where we talk about real life, real issues, real solutions that make real mindful change. And today we will be talking about you do not need permission to rest. Have you ever been in a situation where you knew you did not want to volunteer for a project, or you knew you didn't have the energy to do something, but you felt like you needed someone else to release you, or you needed a good enough reason to say no? Well, for me, that has been an issue a lot. And since we are trying to be more mindful, we're going to dive right in. So, for today's episode, we're talking about you don't have to grind yourself to exhaustion to deserve a break. Society pushes us, and we're in a hustle to you drop mentally culture. But I'm here to tell you rest is not a reward, it's a necessity. And so, the goal of this talk, we're going to talk about why rest is essential, how we got conditioned to believe you have to earn it, and how we are going to break that cycle. So, first, do you feel guilty resting? Short answer, yes. I feel guilty all the time when I say no to something. If I've decided for the day that today is my rest day and I hear someone sweeping or washing dishes, or I have a 100-year-old dog, literally Mrs. Ruffles is 100 years old. And if I hear someone like cleaning up her poop because she poops like every hour on the hour, I will feel guilty that I've decided not to take care of her in that moment, or for whatever reason that time. So there is guilt for me on why I feel that way. And some of that is how I grew up, right? Always having this idea of having to work, be productive. My mom was someone who immigrated here from Panama City, Panama. My stepdad was from Jamaica, and they worked all the time. They were hard workers. That's where I learned it from. I was the oldest sibling, and pretty much from the time I was 10 or 11, I even remember going to work with my mom and feeling like she never asked me to help her, but I always felt like I had to help and work. That's what you do to make it. And I just saw their struggle, and that was something I thought I also needed to do. So we grow up in homes thinking that you always have to work. We're in a hustle culture, which means what? Like, you have to have 20 jobs. You're supposed to be an entrepreneur. And after your kids go to sleep, or after your 9 to 5 is done, there's a 5 to 9. Or a 5 until, because some teachers have like bartending jobs, or they work in a retail store. Like, we're all conditioned to really be hard workers because most people are not getting enough income to just work that one job, right? So that's part of that. We really and if you ask someone how they're doing, most of the times they don't even think, oh, I'm just so busy. Busyness is like king or queen for our American culture. So that's like a little bit of the background of that. And I think that's kind of where we're kind of ill. We're not well. So we really need to dive in as a culture of why we feel like everyone has to be working at max capacity at all times, because we all know that's not possible to keep up, but yet we keep subscribing to it. And we keep encouraging that behavior as if it's something that's okay to do. So one of the things that I really loved about being in the pandemic is that it made us stop. And for most of us, it made us think about different ways to operate. One of the things that I got the privilege of doing was working with an executive director that believed in rest. And one of the things she quoted was Audre Lorde's, rest is not this self-indulgence, it's self-preservation. I need to rest because if not, I may self-destruct or you may destroy me, right? So one of the things that we really learned in COVID was having that rest. And if you had good leadership, they allowed you to flow and be in a rested state because they knew how toxic and draining society was. And not only that, like people were literally dying. So some people, they were mourning as well. So we were in a state where that was more acceptable, where now it's like, I think we've kind of gone back to our old ways, which is sad. So your brain and your body, it needs recovery. So when we say rest is productive, it means that we're giving our body and our mind time to reset. And that reset is not just something flimsy. So when I'm saying, it's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and every day that my old dog is up, or not even my dog, it's my daughter's dog, is up, she's pooping, she's peeing, she's barking, she needs a snack. It is a lot on top of my regular tasks. So if my brain is telling me, you need to stop, you don't need to do that anymore, I should really respect that. And I think a lot of times we don't give ourselves the grace enough to say that it's okay. Or even if we have young kids, it's okay to take a break. I remember being like, oh, well, I don't want to send all my kids with my mom or all my kids with my mother-in-law. And they would ask me, and I would either send one, send two, or I just felt like it was my job to have all the kids all the time. And my husband worked a lot. So it was like, I really didn't always have someone to have a break. So I really should have taken advantage of that. But why we don't feel the need, like our brains need that reset, it's not right that we feel that way. So we need to like journal and dig into that. So I want you to just take note of that. Like, why are you doing some of the things that you need a break from? Because ultimately, you're going to still have to take care of your kids. You're still going to have to take care of your dog. But why can't you take a break and reset? Why do you feel you don't deserve that when you probably will do it for someone else, right? So rest isn't doing nothing. It's recharging. It's resetting. It's preparing for what's next. And I work with a client right now, and his book, check it out. It's a mindful book. Just sit there. Check out his website. Just sit there. It's like we feel like we need to do something at every minute of the day, and that's just not true. Studies show that well-rested people are more creative. They make better decisions, and they actually get more done. So one thing that I learned a lot from work that was not just work stuff. But I remember my executive director, when I first got there, she was like, when you keep making mistakes, that means it's time to take a break. And I know it's counterintuitive because you just think, just work harder, just keep going, fix the mistake and keep going. And she said, no, I've learned the hard way that you just have to stop, come back the next day. Either you wake up earlier. If you know you have to do it for the next day, wake up earlier, give yourself time to get it done, because ultimately that reset will help you. And I remember at first it made me cringe to do it, but I learned what she was saying was correct, and that when I kept making mistakes, I kept getting more and more frustrated, which meant what? I was making more and more mistakes, and I wasn't reading properly because I was trying to hurry up and finish. So that was something that was a valuable lesson. Like, I don't need to keep going. I can take a break, come back to it. And even if I woke up earlier the next day, if I woke up earlier to do that task before I went to work, or when I got to work, get there a little bit earlier, it would go so much better. And I was so like, I had a different eye. My eyes had reset so I could see my mistakes and I could get through them quicker, because it's like that sleep, that break had reset me. So you will be more productive. Take the break. Take it. You deserve it. So athletes also know this. Their rest days are part of their training. Like, you can't just keep going to the gym and doing the same workout. I talked a little bit about body pump when I was becoming an instructor, and let me know if you want to hear about that process, because it was very grueling. But one of the things that I did that I learned not to do when I was first beginning to learn it, I did it every day. Did the music, I did the reps, actually with weights, without weights. But what you actually need for when you're trying to build muscle are breaks. Like Saturday, I lifted heavy. I was able to work out with a trainer. I was able to work out with a partner. And I'm telling you, my body was so sore the next day. So Sunday, I had to take a break, right? Because I could hardly move. Those DOMs sit in. I was like, everything was hurting. So I had to take a break. Today will be either a full body workout, or I'm going to do body pump. I'm probably going to do body pump because I love it so much and I missed it. I haven't been able to do it these past 2 weeks. So when we give our bodies the strength and the stress and the good stress, the good resistance stress, we need to give it time to build those muscles. And it can't do that if we keep stressing it out. It has to take a break, repair, recover, make new muscle fibers, and then more stress and start over. And we get that for building muscles, but we don't get that for real life, which is not good. I don't know why we're so stubborn. I still get that way sometimes too. But no, it's not going to help you to build more muscle if you lift weights every day. Unless you're doing like a split, which I decided not to do because it was too hard for me to keep up the count on what I was doing, even with the notebook. Because if I missed, it would just make me off. So now I just do full days, but every other. All right. So what happens when you ignore rest? Oh, your body will force you to rest. Through burnout, right? You just start hating your life. You literally say, I hate my life. Through illness, you will get sick. Have you noticed that when you're really stressed out and you're at max capacity is when you get migraines, is when you get a cold? You're more susceptible to get sick, right? Some people get inflammation if they have MS, if they have any kind of autoimmune disease. That will flare up from them being too much at max capacity. What else? Complete mental exhaustion. Like, nowadays, people call it a crash out, but meltdowns are real. Having a temper tantrum is not just for a 3-year-old. Temper tantrums can be for grown people like myself. When you are at max capacity and you did not let yourself rest, you will have a temper tantrum of epic proportions. I'm talking about everything and anything. It can get ugly. So that's why we need rest. And that's what happens when we ignore the signals of what we need. So I really want to challenge everyone, even myself, that you do one intentional rest day this week. And it doesn't have to be go shopping or get your nails done, because that may not be a restful thing for you. Like, if you're watching me on YouTube, I don't get my nails done because it's not a restful thing for me to smell the fumes, to be there for 2 hours. It's just not for me. But what I do like to do is purpose a day to do nothing, which is usually my day to do nothing is a Sunday. And it just happens to be that way, like where I'll just go work out or not. I'll do my my journaling, my little planning for the week, but that's not a day where I really want to be cleaning the house. I might cook sometime, like yesterday I cooked, not all the time, but it's definitely my reset day, as in taking a deep breath and chilling it out. So schedule one day this week, just because, not because you earned it, just because, like, you could have just been through a lot of hard stuff, or you could have had a good week, but you just need to rest. Just do it because you deserve it. So balance over burnout. I love this because I've been through burnout a couple times that have ended in meltdown. And I think this round of my life, this next level of me learning, I don't believe I will get to burnout. I have recognized now when I'm out of season of something and that it's time to just rip the Band-Aid off. And for me, I just did a podcast about procrastination. It really is procrastination that had me at burnout. I procrastinated having conversations about what I liked and didn't like, or about when I was ready to quit a job or not. And that had nothing to do with the people or that something was so badly happening to me. So now I feel like I won't be in burnout because I'm definitely understanding when I'm done dealing with foolishness. So real success includes rest. Rest doesn't mean quitting though. It's not just, oh, I'm done with that. Like I'm ready for a different challenge. And for me to do that means I have to take a break to reset to go on to the next thing. It's sustaining yourself so that you can actually enjoy your success. Because if you're working so hard and you don't get a break and you don't get to enjoy it, what's the point really even, right? So signs that you need more rest. I like these. You wake up feeling exhausted even after sleeping. That's a big one. You feel guilty when you're not doing something productive. A lot of times I will say to myself or to my daughter, oh my gosh, I feel so guilty. I'm not cleaning up right now because I know it needs to get done. That's a sign that you need rest. You rely on caffeine, sugar, or adrenaline to get you through the day. So we all know someone who drinks way too much coffee. They are eating candy after candy to try to keep their energy up, donuts, sugary stuff, or they are like feeding off of being argumentative, off of complaining, just using this tense energy to fuel themselves, to egg themselves on. It's not healthy for us, and it's not keeping us at a state of rest. Give yourself permission to rest. This is your official permission slip to rest. Take a break with no guilt attached. And you may have to journal and write down, or even if it's not journal, just write down on a card why you want the rest and why you feel like you don't deserve the rest. And even I listened to a podcaster, Amy, I can't remember her last name, but she said, make a list of the things you don't want to do. So if you're tired of cleaning up socks off the floor, I don't want to clean up socks anymore. I'm taking a break from that. And maybe you go a whole week with socks on your floor. It usually takes me a couple days, but at least by then it's like, I don't feel like I've abused myself from cleaning up the same thing over and over again. Sometimes I throw them down the steps, and it is what it is. You just find your socks when you find them, Mr. Feedster. Anyways, so rest doesn't mean laziness. It's just honoring your body and your mind. And your mind is part of your body. Whether we want to believe it or not, your mind is always going. It's never really at rest. Even when you're asleep, your mind is busy repairing, rebuilding, renewing itself, and finding new ideas for you. So it's always working. So really, we need to make sure that our mind is at rest. So guess what? You get your Netflix day. You get to watch Bridgerton all day if you want to. All day, Bridgerton. I'm just kidding. But just take that day just for you. Write a permission to rest note. So this could be on your note card, and you are going to have people that are going to fight you on that. Ignore them. Ignore those people, especially if they're your little person that wants you to be with them and help them. They will be okay with dad, grandma, or auntie or uncle. They'll be fine. Or granddad. So when we're prioritizing our rest, we need to make sure we're scheduling it in. So that means your deadlines, your errands, schedule your rest. we need to make sure that everything that we're doing for us gets priority as well. Just like how we know when there's deadlines for things, just like how we know the errands that we need to run, we need to know when, okay, usually every whatever days I'm tired. So before then, I'm going to make sure that I get rest. So I'm not having a meltdown. So I'm not saying negative things like, I hate my life. I hate this. I hate that, when I really don't hate it. I'm just tired. So you don't need a whole vacation to rest. You can take small breaks throughout the day, go for a walk, drink your water, making sure that you step away from your desk, step away from that task. Maybe if you're painting a wall, you'll go outside and take a break. If you're a cook, that you have little breaks in between, because that's a hard job as well. If you're a housekeeper, you're taking those breaks. You can work that in. It doesn't have to be an all day thing for us. We don't need to abuse our bodies. Drink your water, go to the bathroom throughout the day, take a break for your lunch. Don't sit at your desk. Go outside, go in the break room. Every time you say yes to something, that means you're saying no to yourself. So how many times do you want to have to keep saying no to yourself? Do you want to say no to someone you love all the time? No. But you need to be that person that you're always saying yes to most of the time. Not all the time you're going to say no to yourself. Say no to yourself when you know that that is part of your goal. Like, you should be allowed to eat a chocolate bar if you want it, but no, you cannot eat it every day. That's not a restful thing. So yes, you can take a nap, but no, you can't take a nap every day if that's when you're supposed to go to work, or if that's when you're supposed to clean your laundry and you know you need to get it done for the next day. So we just have to make sure that we're being wise in what we're doing with our time and our energy. Protect your energy like you protect your money. You wouldn't just keep wasting money and putting it everywhere. You would make sure that, no, I need all of this. Money has intention for that over there. Your energy is the same way. I need to make sure that I have positive energy for when I need to work out. So one of the things that I do in the morning, I do my journaling, I do my meditation, all that. I do a little bit of stretching, or I get on my bike, or I walk with my little dog, Foxy, because that helps me to feel good. And then I have energy throughout my day. And at the end of the day, I like burning whatever energy I have off in the gym. So I just sandwich it. So another mini challenge: build more rest into your work week routine. So one thing is taking a day to rest, but then also making little challenges throughout the week for your rest. So just a few recaps, a few takeaways. Rest is not a reward, it's a necessity. Burnout isn't success, balance is. And you don't have to justify taking a break. So I just want to encourage you to, stop running on empty. You don't do that to your car. Don't do it to yourself. You don't have to wait to a mental breakdown to take a break. If you only learn one thing from this episode, you are worth it. You know, the L'Oreal or the Maybelline commercial, you're worth it. Yes, you are worth it. Or is it L'Oreal? One of the two. The point is, you are worth it. You are worthy. And even if you do all the wrong things in the day, you still deserve a break. You still deserve a rest. So if this message hit home for you, please like, subscribe, share it with someone else. If you have any kind of subject matters that you want to hear about, please let me know. And check out the blog post that inspired this video. No, I'm sorry, that it inspired this podcast. A lot of times when I'm going through, I'm making a whole blog, I also go ahead and make a podcast. So please check that out. And don't miss future episodes. I have some on self-care, intentional living, and how to be a success. I'm sending you lots of light, love, and hoping that you see yourself through the eyes of compassion because you were just doing the best you can. Love y'all. Bye.